Well, here's a video I never thought I would be filming. Today they announced that they are now decreasing the price of shipping on Poshmark. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a future video just like this one when they are released. Okay, so for the first time since 2017, and I think also in Poshmark history, the shipping is going down. So currently it is $8.27 per order, but on September 12th, which is tomorrow when this video is going up, it's going to go down to $6.49. Now, I don't know about you, but I have not been on the platform where it was that low. I think when I started, it was 2018 and it was higher than that. So it's really exciting to know that it's gonna be lower, and I think that's gonna really motivate people to buy more. So let's talk about why they're doing this. So basically, the USPS announced recently that they were doing their annual price increase that they do every single year, and the prices were gonna go up to 11, which seems kind of crazy because normally they jump like 30 cents or whatever. So if it was going to jump 30 cents, it would have jumped to like $9, or no, it would have jumped to like $8.60 something cents. But basically it would have jumped to like 11. And I guess Poshmark was like, absolutely not, like that's way too high. So they basically worked out a new agreement with them that basically is going to allow Poshmark sellers to have a lower shipping cost. But this also means that we can no longer use the priority boxes for shipping. So basically how it's going to work now is it's going to be through the ground advantage instead of priority mail, which means it's going to take 2 to 5 business days for you to get your order. So what's staying the same with this change is basically you're still going to get the Posh perks for shipping. You're still going to get to use one box for up to 5 pounds. You're still going to get to use your own custom packaging, and it's still going to be flat rate shipping across all orders. Now, I know a lot of us have been saying that they wanted a smaller label to be able to, ship something that doesn't cost as much or that doesn't weigh as much. So like, for example, a piece of jewelry doesn't weigh as much as like a whole 5-pound box of stuff. So that would have been a great option to have. However, that is not an option with this. That is the 5-pound flat rate is staying the exact same. And you could also still use the QR code as well with your orders. So now what's changing about the policy is, like I mentioned, it will be ground advantage and it will be 2 to 5 days for the order to arrive. I think with priority mail, it was 1 to 3 days, but we all know that it never ever took 1 to 3 days. Like I waited over a week for a lot of orders, so we all know that it wasn't that quick to begin with. And basically starting September 12th, which is tomorrow for you guys, means that you can no longer use those priority boxes to ship your orders. And in fact, if you continue to do so, you're gonna incur a $5 fee on all of your orders starting October 12th. So basically Poshmark is telling us, hey, there's an extension period, or basically like a period where you can still kind of use those boxes to use up what you have, and also while we work out how to get these boxes from the USPS for the ground advantage. So they're giving us basically that 30-day period to use those old boxes. But starting October 12th, if you still use the US priority boxes, the flat rate boxes that you get at the post office, or anything like that, you will be charged a $5 fee automatically with every order. And it will just slow down your shipping as well because it's going to go through more rounds, I guess. So basically you want to avoid that. And I've been seeing a lot of people say that like between now and then, so basically between September 12th and October 12th, if you use those US priority boxes, some post offices are going to give you a problem because you're using a priority box with a ground advantage label. So just use precaution for the next month or so. The post offices should understand because, again, they worked out the agreement with Poshmark, but I do know that some post offices are more strict than others, so they might turn down your box if you try and use those priority boxes within the next month or so. But just know that you're not going to get charged that $5 fee until October 12th. And basically, if you already use your own mailers or packaging or boxes, nothing is going to change for you except for the fact that the shipping is going to cost less, which again is definitely a good thing overall. So basically, this has people all over kind of like happy, sad, confused, worried, like all the emotions. So personally, I think this is definitely a great thing. I don't think there's anything negative per se about this. I mean, maybe the way they're rolling it out is a little bit negative, but I think just the fact that the shipping is going down $2 is going to motivate people to buy a lot more, and it's also going to save on those sellers who have been giving those shipping discounts of $5.95 or anything like that. Like, this is going to be basically that same amount, and so it's going to be more motivating. And honestly, like, as a buyer and as a seller myself, I think this is going to actually want to make me purchase more, because again, the $8.24 or whatever it was, it just felt like it was so much. And then like on top of it, then you had the taxes and fees and things like that. So like just last week I placed a $30 order and it cost me $40 just to get the order. I think this should definitely help bring that cost down and make it a little bit more bearable. So it is definitely more attractive to buyers and also sellers. And I'm really excited for this change. And I don't know, the amount of people that like were complaining for the last so many years and wanting a price decrease in shipment and thought that the $8 and whatever it was unfair and unbearable. And then for the amount of people that are complaining that they're in a panic now, they don't know what to do with their boxes, or, you know, the biggest complaint I've seen people have is just, oh, I have so many priority boxes, now what do I do with them? Well, the thing is, you didn't actually pay for those priority boxes. You got those for free at the post office, and you could just easily bring them back to the post office and they'll take them right back. And then you could easily just order the new, you know, Ground Advantage boxes, or you could order, you know, your own boxes or your own mailers, anything like that. So I think that's just the pros and cons here. Like, the pros way outweigh the cons. And I think the fact that people are, you know, more upset about they don't know what to do with these boxes than they are happy that the shipping has gone down, to me means that people are just never going to be happy. Like, they're just, no matter what Poshmark does, they're not going to be happy. And that's just kind of sad, because I think this is a huge positive for Poshmark. Now, it does make things a little complicated, and again, people don't like change, but you also have to realize that this is gonna be a positive because people are gonna want to purchase more. So all you have to do is just readjust how you package and you should be good to go. So with regards to how to get these new boxes, I've been seeing a lot of people talk, there's no way on the website to get them. So basically you can't get the Ground Advantage boxes as of right now when I'm filming this video. So this is coming out a few days, I'm filming this a few days before this video is coming out. But as of right now, you cannot order the Ground Advantage boxes on the USPS website. And on Poshmark's website, it tells you that you have to call a specific number to order these boxes. Now, however, the problem is that so many people, every single Poshmark seller out there is rushing to call the USPS to order these boxes, and which means that there's long wait times, and they're also not answering the phones. So I actually waited a day. The announcement came out yesterday, and I actually waited until today to call. And I don't even know if that was better or worse, but basically I didn't even get through. I waited on hold for 27 minutes, and then it went to voicemail. And it said, leave a voicemail and we'll get back to you. I left a voicemail, no one got back to me. But I'm also not like in a huge worry or panic, you know, not knowing what to do, because I have other options for the meantime that I could use starting on Friday. But so many people are like panicked because they don't know what to do and they don't have any other option. But like I've always said, you can use your own, you know, packages. You can reuse Amazon or any other boxes that you get. You could upcycle them. And a lot of times you could actually turn boxes inside out too when you get them. Like, if you don't want all the tacky brand names or anything like that on it, you could just turn them inside out and then use them. Or you could cover them. Like, there's so many different ways that you can use an old box and just recycle it. I actually know like a couple of my friends personally will use like Dorito boxes or like chip boxes and send their stuff out. I don't know if I personally like that, but like I don't really care as long as the item's not damaged. I'm fine with it. And now the other thing that I hear people talking about is like, oh, well, you could just wrap the, you know, USPS priority boxes in like brown paper or anything like that. Now, however, I wouldn't recommend doing this, and I'm never going to preach for this either, because it is technically against the law. You're not allowed to do that. And I see a lot of people saying, well, like, you know, I'm going to do it anyway because I can. And that's just like the people that use stock photos, because that's against the law too, and people still do it. So whether you want to risk getting in trouble or not, that's up to you. I'm never going to tell you to do that, because I'm not going to tell you to do something that's against the law. So enter at your own risk if you do something like that. But I mean, I see people saying that that's a solution too if you want to get rid of those priority boxes and you don't want to like have them go to waste. So I want to know what your thoughts are. I mean, besides the fact that everyone is overwhelmed and stressed and not sure what to do. I want to know your thoughts on the overall shipping decrease. Are you happy about this? Are you worried about this? What do you think this is going to mean for sales? I genuinely think this is going to mean good things for sales. I think sales are going to go up, especially now that we're going into those fall months. You know, the summer slowdown's over. I think people are going to start buying again. Then we're going into gift giving season. So I just think this is like really good, and I think this is going to be positive changes. So let me know your thoughts down below, what you think. Do you think this is a positive change? Do you think this is, you know, maybe not a good thing? Let me know everything that you're thinking down below. And like I said, if you have any other questions besides what I already covered in this video, then definitely feel free to leave those. And if I know the answer, I will give it to you. But if I don't know the answer, maybe it's on the Poshmark blog. Maybe they don't even have the answer yet. Again, they pushed this out so fast, and I don't really even think they were prepared for the amount of questions and concerns that people had. So you kind of have to just bear with, you know, Poshmark and the USPS at this point to just kind of get things through. They should have grace for us, like the post office should have grace for us, because they have not had the boxes available yet for us. But I've heard that they will have a supply of boxes just for Poshmark sellers that we can order. So just hang tight and have some patience. This is going to be a little crazy process here, but just for the next like so many weeks, just try and use whatever you can. Maybe save those boxes, reach out to family and friends or anyone at like your workplace or anything like that to save boxes for you. I already started texting a bunch of my family and friends saying, can you save boxes for me? And they're all willing to do so. So definitely just use your resources that you have, and this will get sorted out. And I think this will be better than we're all even used to. I can't, like, the fact that the shipping went down $2, it may not seem like a lot, but to me, I'm really excited. I think this is a really, really big positive change. And just when I was editing this video, Poshmark actually put out a news announcement in the app that basically gave us an update. So they did recommend that you go and either call at this number that's in the screenshot, or if you email them with all of your information, then you can request your bags. They just want to make sure that you know, can get the Ground Advantage bags in the appropriate time. And they also did let us know that, kind of like what I said earlier in the video, that the USPS may not take the orders from September 12th to October 12th with the old USPS priority boxes. So keep that in mind for, you know, starting on Friday. Just be careful with what you're packaging. But I just figured I would include this clip because this is an update that wasn't originally released yesterday when the update came out. So I just figured I would add it just in case you missed it. So hopefully you found this video informative and hopefully you learned something from this. I know a lot of people are confused. I already got a lot of comments asking about this policy, and I figured I would just cover it in a video because, again, so many people are confused what's happening and what's staying the same, what's changing, what they can use, what they can't use. So basically, I hope this answers your questions. I also see a lot of people that are asking, like, does this mean that we could sell perfumes now? Because that was the only reason you couldn't, because it was priority mail and it was in those boxes. Unfortunately, still as of right now, you're still not allowed to ship perfumes. Maybe that will change down the line once everything is sorted, but for the short term, you're still not allowed to. I'm not sure if they're going to change that, but I see a lot of people asking that, like, oh, hopefully I could sell perfumes now. You still can't, but that doesn't mean that you won't be able to for forever. So hang tight. If I see that they do have an update that you're allowed to, I will definitely be making a video on it because I know these videos are helpful for people. But yeah, like I said, as of right now, you still can't. Everything else remains the exact same. Okay, so hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you want to see another video that I did earlier this week that basically covered why it's so important to list daily and really what it does for your closet, I basically walk you through an experiment that I did in my personal closet where I stopped listing for a few days and then I showed you what my results were with my sales. And the results were kind of shocking, but they were also just proving how important it is to list. So if you want to see that video and really just understand why it's so important to list every single day, you could click right here. And if you want to see another new feature video that has, you know, been released to Poshmark in recent months, you could click right here. And also make sure you stay tuned because I will be posting all the PoshFest content that is being put out this coming weekend with PoshFest. So I will be making videos for next week on all that content. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the PoshFest content that I put out with all the new features and everything else like that. But until next time, I will see you then.